All right, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm trying to get everything set up this morning. It's a little off. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you this. That's the way you start it this morning. You know, sometimes you got to pull the team together, Michael Allison, and you got to tell them, like, job well done. Job well done. You come in all fired up. Andrew Jackson is he came in sitting and now he's up running around the house like y'all fired him up this morning. Good job, guys. All right. Well, happy Tuesday. What's up, Peyton?
No, I didn't do a class. Love you.
All right. Peyton just walked in the office, so always good to see him. Now, the word for today is ponder. And we're going to jump right into it. Ponder. And we don't see any birthdays today, Marlene. So if you'll check for us, see if we got any birthday participants. If it's your birthday, let us know. Beth Johnson, thanks for the call just a minute ago. So, all right, ponder. It means to think deeply, like weigh carefully in your mind. Reflect about a decision you're about to make. How many of you would consider yourself I call it a um, ready, shoot, aim type person? Think about that. Slow that comment down. Ready, shoot, then you aim. If you're that type person, I hope we're never like firing anything close by each other, okay? But you might be that type of person, like a person that just kind of just goes and does it, right? You jump off the cliff and you hand glide and you're like, okay, this was a bad idea, but you're already off, right? You're already off and moving. So maybe this word's for you this morning, ponder. So you slow down your thoughts long enough to explore the meaning, the possibility, the consequences of an idea. This could be me. I found myself in quite the pickle over my years of 49 years of living because maybe I didn't ponder the thought enough. I just kind of like jumped in the deep end. Surely no, Brenda Carlton, is that you? No, she says no. She ponders. She's got wisdom. So it's like thoughtful, deliberate reflection before you make the decision. So, why is it that it's so important to ponder things? So, I share all this to say right now, I don't know what it is in your life, right? I don't know if it's a relationship you're pondering, if it's your business, if it's your finances. I can promise you this, we all have something that comes to our mind like, oh, yeah, I've been thinking about that thing. Here's why it's so important to slow down, to speed up. That's become my favorite statement. Because number one, why is pondering important? It helps you slow down and avoid rushing into a decision. So here's what I would tell you. I'm going to give you a great example of this. A lot of you are about to head to PXP with us, right? And so pondering would be okay, I'm going to slow down to get a list together of who actually on my team is going to be there. Isn't that an amazing idea, Arlene? Before we get there, so that we don't let the 2 days slip by and we're like, holy smokes, who was there? I don't even know. Yeah. So maybe slow down to make that spreadsheet to go, okay, here's the team. Is that important to know kind of who's there? Yeah, I would say so. So pondering is slowing down to avoid rushing into a decision. Also, number two, it gives clarity by letting your thoughts settle. If somebody's wanting you to make hey, I want you to look at this investment. It's $100,000, but I need an answer by tonight. Probably not a good idea. You should be able to ponder that thought, think about that thought, give it some time, okay? Because what happens is number three, it deepens your understanding, like of yourself. Can I afford it? Do I need to do it? Does this make sense? Right? Another thing it does, number four, it allows wisdom and creativity to surface. The so I'm going to go back to business. If you're in business with us, here's what I would challenge you to think about. When someone comes into your organization, is it important to make sure that they're onboarded properly, that they're launched properly? Well, absolutely. Because it could possibly pay you for years and years and years to come if you take the time to properly get them involved, right? Huge thing. And then the last one is I believe pondering, and I don't do this enough, it strengthens intentional living instead of just reacting by impulse. And I'm the worst at that. That's why Andrea picked this word today, like she's third party coaching me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Andrea. So the whole pondering, I actually said this word the other day, and we're like, we got to use this word. Pondering is something that, like, if it would help me be more intentional, right? Help me to understand more without just being very impulsive, which I am in a lot of ways. So I'm throwing myself under the bus this morning. All right, Andrea, I'll turn it to you.
So it was yesterday, and you said you wanted to do ponder as a word.
I
So
did. I
I
did.
I
No,
threw it out there. I followed instructions. But this word was so interesting because I feel like I am a ponderer, probably to a fault. And I'm actually reading a book right now. I've been reading it for some time now. I kind of keep going back and forth to it. And it's called Radical Remission. And it's a really powerful book. So if you ever have, anyone in your life that's going through a journey with cancer, it's a really beautiful book. So I highly recommend it. But one of the chapters in there, it talks about the power of our intuition and that we actually will be happier with our decisions if we just make them, right? So like our intuition, something inside us can like look at some kind of decisions and we can make them really quickly. So coach, you're, well, I'm going to get the order all out of order, but the fire, ready, aim,
Ready,
or
ready, shoot, aim.
ready, shoot, aim. So maybe
Yes.
that can really bode you
Yeah.
well in many aspects of your life, but there's probably a time where we could all slow down. So maybe some of us, I might fall in this category, need to learn to speed up and make a quicker decision. And maybe some of us need to slow down and ponder. And maybe some of us need to do both in different areas. But I looked into, okay, how do we ponder? Like, how can we really slow down and make a decision with some good thought? And the quote that I found was pause, breathe, and ponder. For in reflection, wisdom whispers. And I think that aligns really well with what you said, Coach, that we all can make these decisions sometimes without really tapping into the wisdom that's inside of us. And then we go, oopsie, I'm gonna have to now course correct. So how do we ponder? So first of all, grab a quiet spot, maybe get yourself a cup of coffee, or if you're Arlene, make it tea, and just let your mind breathe. Slow down and just breathe. How many times do we keep our brains so busy that we don't give ourselves the chance to actually think? We're too busy with a book in our ear or music, or we're running around doing 47 things, or we're on the phone, and we don't actually give our brain a chance to do its job because it's too busy doing everything else at the same time. So just slow down for a moment, sit in that quiet, and give yourself a chance to think. Two is to journal your thoughts. Writing slows things down. Like we can think, you ever try to type and keep up with your brain when you're typing or when you're writing? Like you really can't. So when you have to actually put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard, you're going to slow yourself down so you can actually think all of the thoughts that you're having in there. And you know what? It also helps you kind of parse them down. I know when I'm writing things out, I'm going to try to be as concise as possible because I don't want to take that much time to go in circles like I might do if I'm talking to you, right? Number three is to take a walk outside. The combination of movement and then being outdoors really helps pondering feel more natural, be a little bit more a part of what we're doing. So go outside, listen to the birdies, move your body, and that's going to help you as well. Number four is ask yourself questions instead of rushing for those answers. So why is this important? Why do I need to give it some thought? What could this look like if I pick option A? What would it look like if you pick option B? But ask those questions of yourself. And I think a big one that is why is this important? Like, why do I need to not just make a quick decision? Because that can kind of lead us to where our values are, and it might change the course that we're going to go on completely. Number five is to give yourself permission to not decide right away. And I think we are in a fast-paced world, right? Regardless of where you live, what you're doing, the life goes by very, very quickly. And if we give ourselves permission to pause and slow down and realize that pondering takes time, so we've got to allow ourselves the space for that. Number six is to pray or meditate, inviting some peace and clarity into the process. And then number seven is to notice when new insights pop up. So often they're going to come to us after we've slept on it, after we've switched gears. Like, you ever notice that? Like I see it here all the time, and I call it my walk thoughts. So I'll be here dealing with something, and then I'll go on a walk, and then I find myself texting questions because I'm like, okay, this is something we need to deal with. This is something we need to deal with. This is something we need to deal with because I gave myself the space to walk away. And then when I came back to it, I had some good insight, or at least I had more questions that I need to make sure that I asked to get to that good insight. So, Coach, I thought this was a good one today. So I'm glad you picked it. And I did not
Yep.
see any birthdays. So if it's your birthday, we love you and we want to sing to you. So you got to let us know.
Great day, great day. Want to remind everybody this Thursday, 2 p.m. Central Time Zone, I'm actually doing a live presentation with Todd Falcone. You'll see that. It's all everywhere. Feel free to share it with your team. How to explode your business volume and create amazing leadership within your team. We've got that going on at 2 p.m. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. That's on Thursday. Have a great Tuesday out here. See you.
Love you guys. Have a beautiful day.
Have a
Love
great
you.
day.
Bless you.
Bye.